Okay, everybody, we've had a couple of down days, but Parker Coleman is back, ready to do the games of Monday, April 18th, 2022. And he has a couple other things he wants to talk about. Without further ado, Parker Coleman.
Day off, last 2 days off. The day game on the first Sunday caught me behind. So basically, on the day I wasn't doing the recaps of the day's games any day last week. I was doing the recaps from yesterday, which is kind of a problem. But I took Saturday and Sunday off. Saturday off, because I didn't want to be a day behind again, and then Sunday just because it wouldn't feel like a real day off if I still had to do games. But it was a good needed day off, and it was very easy to come back because 3 games got postponed yesterday: Guardians, White Sox, Mets, Giants, and Nationals, Diamondbacks. Guardians and White Sox got postponed again today, but there are two doubleheaders today, so you're going to have 16 games tomorrow instead of 15. Anyways, first game is the Twins and the Red Sox. This is a yearly Patriot Day game. Started at 10 Central. So if you're a Dodgers fan or a Padres fan or any fan who's in California or Seattle, you probably woke up and it was probably the fifth or sixth inning and curious like why it's so early. But it's a yearly thing. The only other time I could think of a game that is usually this early is on the 4th of July. But we start in the first is Correa singles, Garlic homers making it 2-0 Twins. Celestino singles in the third, Polanco homers making it 4-0 Twins. The Red Sox get on the board in the fifth as Verdugo doubles, Arroyo singles, and Vasquez is an RBI groundout. Vasquez would get another RBI in the bottom of the seventh as he'd homer, making it 4-2. In the top of the eighth, the Twins basically ran away with it as Kepler and Sanchez walk. Kepler later scores on a wild pitch. Celestino walks, Polanco singles, scoring Sanchez. Celestino scores on a wild pitch. So two wild pitches leading to runs. Correa would then strike out to end the inning, but not after 4 runs were put up, and it went from being 4-2 to 8-2. That's a big difference. In the bottom of the ninth, Vasquez singles, Bradley doubles. Bogarts drives in a run on a single, but the Red Sox lose the Patriots Day game 8-3. Like I said, it's the earliest game that you'll probably see. Well, unless they go back to doing overseas games, in which case you're going to have a game at like 6 in the morning. Or besides 4th of July. They have a game this early, usually on 4th of July as well. Polanco was first star. He was 2 for 5 with 4 RBIs, a home run. Bundy was second star, 5 1/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 run, 6 strikeouts. Garlic was the third star with going 1 for 2 with a home run and 2 RBIs. 8 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Twins. 3 runs, 11 hits, no errors for the Red Sox. Brewers Pirates. This game actually was a very easy review to write out. 2 singles in the bottom of the first by Wong and Adames. Wong scores on a wild pitch. So a few players scoring on wild pitches yesterday. It's 1-0. Diego Castillo, not the Mariners reliever. The Pirates, second baseman. I don't remember what position he played. I mean, besides Brian Hayes and Brian Reynolds, and soon to be O'Neill Cruz, who remembers what position anybody plays for the Pirates at this point? But Castillo, he hits his first career home run. He's actually been quietly solid for the Pirates. Maybe if I have a little bit of a free time, I could do a video on people who have just been quietly solid and not getting a lot of credit. Obviously, Castillo's not going to get a whole lot of credit because he's playing for the Pirates. And that was the top of the third. Narvaez singles, Kane doubles, and Peterson walks to load the bases in the bottom of the fourth. Sorry, Castillo homer was in the top of the fourth, not the top of the third. Wong hits a sac fly to give the Brewers a 2-1 lead. Adames walks, and then Christian Yelich is his first home run of the 2022 season, and it's a grand slam, so just perfect time. The Brewers would beat the Bucks 6-1 in their first matchup this season. Yelich was the first star, obviously, as he had the home run. He had a home run, walk, grand slam, 4 RBIs. Lowry went 5 1/3, 1 hit, 5 strikeouts, a walk. Castillo went 2 for 4 RBI home run. 1 run, 8 hits, no errors for the Pirates. 6 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Brewers. Tampa Bay Rays against the Chicago Cubs. Suzuki reaches on an error. Wisdom homers, making it a quick 2-0. Josh Lowe single, steals second, scores on a G-Man Choi single. Cuts the Cubs lead in half. It's 2-1. Phillips singles, steals second. Wallace walks, and Lowe singles, scoring Phillips after Lau strikes out. So the Rays have tied it. Suzuki is hit in the bottom of the seventh. VR walks. Cubs lead on an Ian Happ single. Schwindel homers in the bottom of the 8th. That makes it a 4-2 game. That's what the Cubs would win by, 4-2. Happ went 1 for 3 with an RBI. McClanahan went 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 9 strikeouts. Wisdom went 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs, home run, 2 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Rays. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Cubs. Angels Astros. Astros and Athletics were the 2 teams that hadn't had a home game before last night, and that was just a unforeseen challenge from lockout, having to go 2 weeks, I think it was, without a home game, and plus they hadn't been home before that because they're in Arizona and Florida the whole time. So both the Astros and Athletics are home for the first time in a while. Both have been playing pretty well also. As the Astros and Angels get ready to face off against each other, Michael Lorenzen versus Luis Garcia. Astros pulled an early lead as Brantley singles and Alvarez homers. Alvarez is coming back from a stomach bug / COVID-19 diagnosis. They didn't really ever say what happened to him. All we know is that he was sick. The top of the second, Stassi walks, Marsh doubles, and then Luis Garcia was 1 pitch away from getting out of a jam, but Tyler Wood would double off the wall to tie the game at 2. In the bottom of the 4th, Bregman and Alvarez single, Tucker walks to load the bases, and then the Astros get 2 runs in an unlikely manner. Pena walks for a 3-2 lead, and then Sirius hit by a pitch for a 4-2 lead. At the top of the 6th, Stassi homers off the foul pole, making it 4-3. If it was a Houston player, there would have been like free Chick-fil-A the next day, but it wasn't a Houston player, so unfortunate for Houston. In the bottom of the 6th, Tucker walks, Pena has a bunt single. Now, this is interesting to me because you never see this many bunts in a row. But Pena would get a bunt single. Sear would try and bunt, but after he got the 2 strikes, it had him swing away. He hits a fly ball that moved the runners over. Well, it moved Tucker over, I should say. And then Maldonado bunts successfully for a safety squeeze to score a run, making it 5-3.
And then didn't Angels guy try to bunt?
Yeah, and it didn't go so well.
Yeah.
And they're trying to bunt him home, and that didn't work. That was in the top of the 7th, I believe. But in the bottom of the 7th, Bregman doubles, and Alvarez with homer again. Maybe this is what the Astros offense needed. Jordan Alvarez, making it 7-3. Maldonado walks out 2 base singles. He exits due to injury, and it looked scarily similar to Alex Bregman's injury last year. However, and it happened the same way, trying to leg out a hit. But, however, it doesn't sound like with how the Astros are talking about it that it's as bad of an injury. Brantley would single, scoring another run. The Astros win their 10th home opener in a row. And so they have 10 opening day wins in a row and 10 home opener wins in a row. Of course, those overlap sometimes, but what are you going to do about it? Alvarez was easily the first star. He went 3 for 5 with 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. Garcia was the second star, 5 2/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, 7 strikeouts, a walk. Brantley was 2 for 5 with an RBI. He was the third star, 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Angels, 8 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Astros.
What a moonshot that first home run was. I think 34 degrees and 415 feet and 9 miles an hour or something.
Nola versus Cool in the Phillies Rockies gave us the next game. It was short pitcher names night for the Rockies and the Phillies. Nola 4 letters, Cool 4 letters. Kind of hard to get shorter than that. Speaking of low, it was a very low-scoring game until the 6th inning came around when Blackman homers for a Rockies lead. Crone singles, advanced on a wild pitch and a ground out. Then he scored on another wild pitch, making it 2-0 Rockies. Hilliard would single in the bottom of the 7th. Blackman would walk, and Grichuk would double, scoring both. Grichuk would be out at third, but not before the Rockies took a 4-0 lead. In the top of the 8th, both Bohm and Segura would single, and Gregorius would double, making it 4-1. However, the Phillies' offense is stifled in Coors Field. The Phillies and the Rockies have had 2 very non-similar experiences so far in the 2022 season. The Rockies are 7-3, surprisingly, and the Phillies are 4-7 after starting off 2-0. So I guess the Phillies have kind of fallen off a little bit, but it is 11 games into the season. However, they're not playing super well to start the season. I did think the Phillies were one of the most overrated teams in baseball again this year. So, I mean, I'm not really surprised, but who knows? Maybe some other people are. Cool was the first star easily as he had a cool performance going 6 innings, 2 hits, 4 strikeouts, no runs. Grichuk had the big hit as he was 1 for 4 with a double and 2 RBIs. Blackman was 1 for 2 with an RBI and a home run and a walk. 1 run, 5 hits, no errors for the Phillies. 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Cubs. Orioles A's. This is the other game that I was talking about. Teams that haven't played at home, A's and Astros. The A's get to go home today, and they played pretty solidly. They got helped out by a couple of Oriole faux pas, but we'll get to that. In the bottom of the first, Kemp walks. Murphy doubles, making it second and third. McKinney gets an RBI ground out to give the A's a 1-0 lead. In the top of the fifth, the O's tie it at 1 as Odor walks. Hayes doubles. But then the sixth inning is where it all falls apart for the Orioles. McKinney singles. Betancourt reached on an error by Urias. Now, this doesn't seem like it would be a lot, but it just leads to the floodgates. McKinney would score off that error. Seth Brown would walk. Sheldon Noisy would get an RBI, scoring Betancourt. Odor would then make an error, scoring Brown. Smith would be safe. Pache singles for another RBI. The A's basically run away with it in the inning and win 5-1 after it was tied 1-1. So that's what kind of separates the bad teams from the good teams. The first star was Montas easily. Went 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 5 strikeouts. Hayes went 2 for 4 with the RBI and a double. This is a very weird thing because there were like 2 RBIs or so for the A's because of those 2 errors. So even though the A's won, 2 of the stars were Orioles because Austin Hayes went 2 for 4 with the RBI and a double. Watkins was the third star. Spencer Watkins, 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. He wasn't that bad either. Montas was easily the first star though, and he's one of the main reasons why the O's won this, or the A's won. Nope. Montas was easily the first star. He was one of the reasons that the A's won this game. The other being the Orioles. 1 run, 7 hits, 2 errors for the Orioles. 5 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the A's. So Tommy Pham, we're going to talk about this. So Tommy Pham, I think it was before the season, but I just heard about it yesterday. He said something like he doesn't care that the Reds are going to be bad, and he's really focusing on him. And that's basically what he said. I can't get the specific quote, but it was a really talked about topic, and people are saying on one part, well, yeah, he should try and get as much money as he needs. He's probably only going to be in the majors for 1 or 2 more years, and he wants to be as financially stable. But other people are like, you obviously want your team to win. So what do you think about Tommy Pham basically saying that he's only in it for himself, and he doesn't really care how good the Reds do?
It's probably overblown because if he does well, the Reds are going to do better. I understand not wanting to verbalize that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it sounds worse than it was, I guess. And Tommy Pham is not going to make, no matter how well he does, he's not going to make the Reds good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say probably overblown. I didn't see the reaction, so I don't know what the reaction was, but my guess is that it's overblown.
Well, something that made it prevalent is that entering this game, Tommy Pham was 1 for 26, and he started off 0 for 20 on the season. He got his first hit on Saturday, but he was actually a big thing in here because more about Tommy Pham, the Padres fans were booing him. I don't know why or what he did. I think Machado said that he was waiting to rake until they played against them because Tommy Pham went 3 for 4 with a home run and an RBI yesterday. He was the third star, spoiler alert. His home run was in the first, giving the Reds an early 1-0 lead. That snaps his 1 for 26, and he had a really solid game. But however, the Padres take the lead from the Reds as Nola singles to lead it off, and Machado homers just like that. 2 batters, the Reds are losing. It's 2-1. In the bottom of the fourth, Profar walks. Alfaro walks. 2 on. Ha-Seong Kim gets an RBI single. 3-1 Padres. Machado doubles. Machado's also been just absolutely hitting the cover off the ball. Machado's moved over by a ground out after he doubles. Voit hits a sac fly, making it 4-1. The Reds, it's very early in the season, but the Reds have the longest losing streak in baseball. And the longest losing streak so far of the season. They've lost 7 in a row. They played the Dodgers and now the Padres and the Guardians. So the Reds have lost 7 in a row. They're 2-9 now, and I'm pretty sure this is the worst record that any other team has. Machado went 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs, a home run, and a double. He was easily the first star. Manaea was pretty good last night. 6 innings, 6 hits, 6 strikeouts. That's weird. And 1 run. Tommy Pham went 3 for 4 with a home run and an RBI. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors for the Reds. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Padres. Now we got the Braves and the Dodgers. This was interesting. This is the first time Freddie Freeman has played the Braves ever since the moving. or moving. That's a weird way to say it. Ever since leading the team and going. And speaking of long winning streaks or long streaks of a sort, the Dodgers have 7 games in a row. They lost the series to Colorado, and then they haven't lost a game since. In the bottom of the first, Freeman homers. His first home run as a Dodger is against the Braves and Huascar Ynoa. You think that if there are baseball gods, they certainly do have a sense of humor. In the bottom of the fourth, the Dodgers blow it open, as Justin Turner doubles. Will Smith singles. RBI ground out for Bellinger. Bellinger has not been the worst hitter in baseball yet. I knew he wasn't that bad, but he actually has some solid numbers. But I mean, I'll even say it like I did for the other people who I don't want to say dogging on, because I don't think that they suck because they have one bad 10, 11 game stretch. But it's early. But I mean, I guess I want to say good for Bellinger. I mean, even though I'm an Astros fan and I'm supposed to hate him, it just got so sad last year that he was batting like 165 or something like that. So I actually started feeling bad for him, which is kind of crazy to say. Edwin Rios gets an RBI single, Betts and Freeman walk, and Trey Turner doubles, scoring 3. It's now 6-0 all of a sudden. Heredia hits a solo shot, making it 6-1 in the 5th. Albies hits a solo shot, making it 6-2 in the 6th. A little more scoring for the Braves in the 6th is Riley singles, I should say. No, Olsen singles. Riley has a ground rule double. My bad. I put Olsen singles and Olsen hits a ground rule double. Duvall has an RBI ground out. D'Arnaud gets an RBI single. At 6-4, maybe they come back. Bellinger hits a home run in the 8th, making it 7-4. That'd be the final score, as the Braves made it a little closer, but it was that the Dodgers did win. Turner was 1 for 4 to double and 3 RBIs. He was the first star. Bellinger was 2 for 4 with a home run, 2 RBIs. He was the second star. Freeman was the third star, 1 for 3 RBI and 2 walks against his former team. 4 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Braves. 7 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. They're only 8 games, so this is probably one of our quickest recaps yet. That's about it.
All right. What a great recap and interesting note on Tommy Pham. I tried to find his exact quote. Couldn't find it, but he explained it pretty well. And, we'll see what happens if he comes out of it and earns his $6.5 million, I think. Mm-hmm. So, all right. We'll be back tomorrow with the recaps of today's game. Talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in.